Hello and welcome to Craft and Chat. I'm Amanda Fowler and it's Tuesday the 16th of July. I'm live here on YouTube and Facebook. And if you've never joined us before, we have 20 minutes or so of chatting and then I get crafting. And today I'm going to be working with a really lovely set, which is sketched butterflies. So hopefully you can see and hear me clearly. Can you put a comment in for me? That would be really good. I've got all my supplies. I've got a cup of coffee and I am ready to go. Hi, Ali. Hi, Michelle. Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing really well. Thank you. Brilliant. Elizabeth saying we're all clear. Awesome. Okay, so if I missed you last week, well, I missed everybody last week. I had a bit of an op, and as usual, my optimism outweighed my body's ability to make itself better. So those of you that know me very well will know that that is absolutely not a surprise. So yeah, I always think I'm going to get better faster. But it was about 15 years ago I had my last general anesthetic and I just bounced back. I was back at work within a couple of days. Obviously being 15 years older slows one down somewhat. So I was sensible, and I'm still being sensible, to be fair. But thank you. And thank you for your emails and the cards. And I haven't actually brought cards up with me today. I'll share them with you next week. But I've had all kinds of fun things coming in the post, which I'm really, really grateful for. And thank you for being patient whilst I kind of caught up with my emails and things. So, Ali, Michelle, and Elizabeth's here. Mum's here. Hello, Pauline. Anne's here. Yes, I am. Elizabeth's here. Margaret's here. Stella's here. Texas is in the house. Thank you, Anne. Yeah, I am doing really, really well. Hello, Susan. Good to see you. Good to see you. Awesome. So Leslie's here as well. Thank you for your lovely card, Leslie, too. Yeah, so was it 2 weeks ago? Or was it, I can't remember, craft along. I had another issue with my computer. And it seems that my computer decides to, oh no, it was the scrapbooking time class. My computer decides to go off and search for updates and slows down the computer completely, which means then it affects the live stream. So if we have got any PC computers as opposed to Mac computers, any gurus in the house or any websites that you use, can you please let me know? I have switched off everything I can think of. But obviously I can't switch off the internet, so otherwise I can't go live. So I don't know. But I made it do its updates about 2 hours ago. So I'm hoping that it's gonna be all right for an hour or so while I'm hanging out with you. Yes, Ali, that is just rude. It is very rude. It's just not on at all. Yes, Anne. She's saying, don't you hate it when computers have a mind of their own? Yes. The thing is, if it was a Mac, I could fix it. We've had Macs for forever, 30 years. However long Macs have been in existence, I've had Macs. but I have used PCs all the time as well. So I can use a PC, but I can't do the techie stuff with it. I don't know. So I've done what I can figure out on my own. Yeah, so Ali, I've turned off the automatic updates, but it doesn't actually stop it from looking for them. That's my issue. It went looking and it doesn't, and it kind of gathers the information ready for when you allow it to update. But it kind of supersedes the computer's operating system. It kind of, yeah. Maybe it's just my computer. Maybe I just need a different computer. Or maybe I'll just have a Mac upstairs instead. Donna's here. Oz is in the house. How are we doing, Donna? So obviously I've been missing. So in the comments, tell me what you've been doing. Because it's been 2 weeks since I've seen you. So you must have been up to something. And I know we all go, oh, no, I've not been doing anything. Actually, we like to hear about all the things. So we like to hear about, I don't know, seeing family, eating cake, meeting friends, off on your hollybobs, booking hollybobs, all those things. We like to hear about all of that. We've had Connor here with us for about a week. So that's been really cool. We've just hung out really. He works for himself. So he was set up in one room and Brian and I was, I was lounging on the sofa. Brian was working somewhere else, yeah. So that's been really good. And then at the weekend, Brian's brother and partner were here and we went off to the beach. So they went off for a long walk and I just sat in the sunshine with my Kindle, which was really nice. And then, they burnt off all the calories. So it was time for ice cream and I hadn't moved, but that was really good. Anita's here. Hello, Anita. Donna's cold in Australia. Yeah, I'm doing really well, lovely. Thank you. Leslie has been to Singapore and Australia to meet her new grandson. Did you get lots of cuddles? Mousehole. Margaret has had a lovely week in Cornwall, staying in Mousehole and no rain. So is Mousehole a place, Margaret? I guess it must be a place as opposed to a building. Judith has set up a sandpit for her grandson, Sydney, who's nearly 3, and he loved it. Oh, yeah. Sandpits are amazing. Oh, no. Leslie got lots of cuddles, but got COVID too. It is everywhere still. And this new variant is really making people really, really poorly. So if you have any like weird symptoms, I was talking to a family friend a couple of days ago, tummy problems, all kinds of stuff. So just take care of yourselves out there. Janet's here as well. Hello. And I was just all excited then. Ali's got a new bike, but it's taken a couple of weeks to get the cycle helmet out, and then it's been raining. Oh, so apparently Mousehole in Cornwall is a village with a harbour not far from Land's End. I just didn't know that was a place. So we've spent quite a lot of time in Cornwall, but more time in Devon. Because we lived in Somerset for a long time, when Brian and I were first married, we lived in Somerset, and the job that I had meant that I was traveling through a lot of Devon, Bristol and Avon and Somerset. So I kind of did like a triangle section. So we didn't really get down to Cornwall very much. Donna said it's been wet in Oz as well. Yeah, it's been very wet, very wet here. But according to the weatherman, well, the weather lady on the BBC this morning, it's going to get better by the end of the week. I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to not having to wear socks again. Oh, Ali says she thinks it's called Mousehole, not Mousehole. Mousehole. Oh. I love the fact that we have names that actually doesn't matter how you say it, it's going to be, it's always like a tongue twister, like Worcestershire sauce. Yeah. Margaret's confirming that that's how you say it. Awesome. So let me tell you what is going on with Stampin' Up and me work-wise and all of that kind of stuff. So currently, if you spend £45 and multiples of £45, you get a £4.50 coupon to spend in August. So it's basically like a 10% coupon for your order. So obviously, if you're placing an order, make sure it's in multiples of 45. Don't miss out on another coupon because, you know, you've spent £2 or £3 or whatever. It's a great time to kind of stock up on things. And then you use the coupon in August. Okay, so shop now, shop in July, use the coupon in August. The coupon comes to you directly via email. So double check your email when you've placed your order and keep that code safe. And one of the things that I do, I don't know whether you guys do this at all, but I use the little flag icon. Most people don't use flag icons in their emails. But when you look at your like long list of emails, there's to the right hand side, usually depends what program you're using, there's a little flag icon, and if you click on it, you can pick a color and mark it, and then it's easy to find it again. So so do that. Don't lose it. Should you lose it, because I know it'll happen, should you lose it, then email me and I'll forward the information on to our demonstrator support team and they'll be in touch with you. But try not to lose it. So that's what's coming now. We've had lots of new products launch in the online store. There's the Christmas stuff that we're going to be using for Craft Along this month. But there's loads and loads of really cool stamps and papers and all sorts of things. And if you do Halloween, if you celebrate Halloween or you have family and friends that celebrate Halloween, there's lots of Halloween-y stuff as well. And it just means that you can kind of get ahead. Quite often at this time of year, we're not crafting because we're outside in the sunshine. Not a lot of sunshine going on. So, you know, you can get yourself ahead, Christmas cards, get yourself ahead for a few birthday cards, perhaps. And there's some beautiful kits as well. They're available. But then in partnership with that is my bug off sale. Now, I have done 2 videos and they're on YouTube right now. and they're actually open to everybody. But I can only send products to people who are in the UK. So if you place an order, you can pick an equivalent amount from my Bog Off store. And you just pay a £4 contribution for postage, and then I'll send you the products. Now there is a lot of stuff. To be fair, there was a lot of stuff to begin with. There's a lot of stuff left. So what I will be doing in the next couple of days is sending out links to all the videos again, along with a PDF. So I appreciate that even though the videos are quite short, they're sort of, I don't know, half an hour or so each, because I'm trying to go through it quite quickly. Sometimes scrolling down a list of stamps and bundles is easier, particularly if you know you are specifically looking for something. So I'll send that out as well. If you don't get emails from me, pop over to my blog, which is www.inspiringinking.com, and sign up for my email newsletter, and then you will always get that information. So that's still running. That is going to carry on until the end of July, and then it will all get packed away and be gone. So don't miss out on that. What else? So I have sent out information about the Christmas retreat, and I say information, loose information. There's a price, there's a date. I have no idea yet what's included. But I know that there are lots of you that will want to do it and will want to get booked on. So there is a booking, a deposit available, booking available now. Stamping Up will show demonstrators the new autumn winter catalogue in about 10 days. Might be next week, but I think it's the week after. I can't remember. But we can't actually order anything till something like the 6th of August. So although I will probably know what we're going to use, I won't confirm it until I've physically got the products in my hand, because sometimes I think I'm going to do, I don't know, whatever it is. And then the products come and it's like, oh no, I'm going to go this way, or actually I'm going to use a different paper, or that kind of stuff. So you will know probably the second week of August what's going to be included. I will do what I did last year, which is some of the components of the Christmas retreat, like a stamper stack, like the special Christmas cards. I will do those as individual classes as well. So you can either sign up for the whole thing or do an individual class. So that all of those will be available to do. And then if you're local to me, or you want to just come and visit for the weekend, there's lots of lovely places you can stay around us. There's Winchester, and there's a New Forest, and there's Chichester. So there's lots of places that you could stay. And I've put in my Christmas class dates, so my in-person Christmas class dates and craft along dates as well. So all of that information's gone out, ready to kind of gear us up for the autumn. And the reason that I've done it now is because when eventually we do get all the sunshine, you'll be gone. You'll be in your garden, off on holiday, all the places. Okay, so let's see. So Susan has been trying to do gardening in between the rain and having a kitchen day. Oh, making broccoli and Stilton soup. Yeah, Brian's just had soup for his lunch, which is crackers in July. Yeah, Ali uses flagging on emails, and Rob's here as well. Hello, hello. Awesome. Okay, so I think we're probably pretty much there with all the catching up, really. So don't forget about the bug off stuff. I've had a few people place orders and not realize. I know we don't always read our emails, so that's been a nice surprise for them. So basically what's happened is they've placed an order and I've emailed them and gone, go and pick some free stuff from my videos. I do get asked if it's available for everyone, and the answer is yes, everyone in the UK. People do also ask if they're a demonstrator, are they allowed to shop my bug off? And again, the answer is yes, because I understand that sometimes there are retired things that you might want that you didn't get a chance to get. But if you are a demonstrator, it's easier for me to place your online store order. So if you happen to be a demonstrator and you would like to shop my bug off, that's, like I said, that's fine, and I can sort it out for you. But equally, I quite understand that you might not want to do that. So there we go. Yeah, and saying soup is good any time of the year. Yeah. You see, I make soup for Brian. Brian makes his own soup as well, but I make soup for Brian. But I'm not really a soup fan. Elizabeth's going to make cauliflower and chestnut soup. You see, now I could get on board with that because I love chestnuts. Ali's saying that because summer's not coming, may as well put the Christmas tree up. Don't suggest that. Kim and Dom had their Christmas tree up way into January. And they put it up really early, like September. So crackers. Okay, so let's figure this out. Oh. Switch the camera. Let's see. Okay. Awesome. Right. So this is the stamp set that I'm using. I've had to just as an aside, I've had to rearrange the studio basically because obviously Connor's been here and was using this desk. So can you just tell me, is everything in focus? I believe I have refocused it correctly, but it's always good to check. So this is sketched butterflies. There is a die set. I don't know where my catalogue's gone. Yeah, it's not here. I'll have to go and find one and bring it up. But there is a die set that goes with it. I'm not using the dies today because I wasn't going to bring my cut and emboss upstairs. But it's really, really pretty. And I really didn't think I needed another butterfly set. But if you look how cool that is. It's kind of, it's realistic or without being realistic. So I can go with my crazy colors and things. So that's really good. I have used, let me show you the things that I've used. So this is part of the basics embossing folders. So I've got some circles here that have been embossed. And I've also used deckled circles dies. I've got Memento and blends. So this is a Pretty in Pink and Petunia Pop because I'm using these papers today. So these papers, can any of my demonstrator friends help me out, please? What are these papers called? They're all the new in colors. So that one goes with that one. That one goes with this one. I can't remember what they're called. But anyway, so these are the ones that we're using. And if you are doing the scrapbooking workshop with me on Saturday, we're using these for one of the projects. Flowers of Beauty, Elizabeth, thank you. Yeah, that's the one. So what else have I got? Ooh. I've also got Summer Splash, and I've got some gems. So those are the Faceted Gems Trio Pack, and these are the basic grey and smoky slate pearls. Basically, you need something that's got a bit of a lump because we are going to be making easel cards, but we're going to be making them one landscape and one portrait. So I'm going to show you how to make the cards themselves first, and then we'll decorate them. Unbounded Beauty. Yes. So I think Unbounded Beauty is the stamp set. Is that what the papers are called, or are they Flowers of Beauty? I don't remember. Right. Okay. So I'm going to make a standard card blank, which for me, the way I make mine, I cut my cardstock down because I'm using A4 cardstock. So I'm cutting this down to 8 inches by 4. No, 8 inches by 5 3/4. But then I'm going to score the front at 2 inches. So basically, this is going to have a score line here. And we're going to make an easel card that stands like this. So once you've made this part, you want a front of your card as well. So you want it to be exactly the same size as the whole front of your card. Like so. Let me just move this out of the way. And then what we're going to do, this is a kind of a moving card, an easel card. So we're going to reinforce the score line so everything does as it's told. And then we're just going to put glue on this half. That's not quite square. Let me just reinforce that slightly more square. There we go. So you're just going to put glue. So if this was a standard card, you're just going to put glue on that right hand side. And it's just going to sit on the top of the card. Like so. That is how you're going to make your easel. Really, really straightforward and really, really easy. So this is landscape, but I'm also going to make it in a portrait version. So I am going to cut this at 4. Then 11.5. And if you aren't keeping up with the measurements I'm saying, don't worry, I will make sure that they're on my blog. So you can just copy them down from there. So I'm actually making a card this way. So it's got the score line here. And then we're going to score it halfway across. Now, the issue with this is that bit is 5 3/4. So you can work on 1/8 of an inch, or you can just fold it and then reinforce it. So this card, this style of card, works better if you've got a 12 by 12 inch piece of cardstock, because then you can just do it at 6. And if you need to know the measurement is 2 7/8 of an inch. But I know lots of you don't like 7/8 of an inch, so I tend not to do that measurement. And then we've got 5 3/4 by 4. And yet again, let's do the reinforcing. Which goes like so. And we're just putting glue on this bottom piece again. And then this goes over the top. And makes an easel that way. Just move it over slightly. Okay, so if I kind of stand them like this, look, their shapes are obviously very similar, but obviously this is a portrait and that is a landscape. Okay, so just to kind of go over it again, whatever card blank size you have, you either score it in half that way or that way, and that is it. And then your card front is exactly the same size as your card front would be. So let's do a bit of stamping. And a bit of colouring in. And then we can actually decorate. So I'm just going to rest on this little bit of grid paper. I'm hoping that the grid paper won't send the camera doolally. Sometimes it doesn't like the squares. I don't know whether you know that, but it's one of those things. That's why it's very rare that you see newsreaders and stuff with checks or squares or that kind of thing. I'm just going to do a little one as well. But you never know. Let me do that. And then another one. So you have to use Memento. There's space for another one. Just. You have to use Memento if you are using blends. Okay, so because this is a red rubber stamp set, you can use Stays On ink or Memento ink. You can use either, but because I'm going to be using blends, then you need to use Memento ink. So let's just do a bit of colouring. Now, I was talking to my customers at card class a few weeks ago, and we were talking about blends and the fact that sometimes people don't get the kind of colour blending that they hoped for. And I, as usual, don't necessarily do things the way you are, insert air quotes, supposed to do them. I often do things my own way. So it's definitely something that you can do with kind of trial and error. Find the way that kind of works for you. So I'm actually here, I've just used the dark colors, and then I'm going to go in with the lighter shades so I can blend them. So you can blend the colors. You kind of, if you go back over the area, you can blend. And you end up without the harsh line. So I'm just going to do, I'm just doing sort of a couple. That's light, that's dark. And it always depends when you're colouring in, it always depends what you find easiest to use. So the bullet tip on the blends for me is really good because it's really sturdy. But you might, personally, you might prefer to use the brush tip. And at the end of the day, you need to choose what works best for you. The problem for me with the brush tip is it gets bent because I'm quite heavy-handed. So it does get a little bit bent. But with all of these, you can just go over them again. And it just sort of softens it and kind of makes pretty colours. So that's going to be, those are going to go with that one. So that's Summer Splash and White and Petunia Pop. And then this one is going to go, let's go with the dark. It's all going to be Pretty in Pink. But what I am going to do is put a little bit of Petunia Pop on it. So let's just put a little bit there. Tiny bit along the edges. And the great thing about colouring in with blends is because the colours do all soften in together, you can easily just kind of go back in and do different shades and so on, and just give it a little bit of time and just allow yourself the play. Because if you do that, you will get better at it. Like all these things, if you don't give yourself the opportunity just to play, you're not going to get better. Yeah. So I'm just going over some of these areas with the darker, and you can see there. So I've got different shades, different colors. And I tend to put the dark colors down first and then go over with the lighter colors and blend with the lighter colors. It's just what works for me. But if you feel that, you haven't succeeded with blends particularly, then I suggest try that. Try a bit of a different way and see. Because at the end of the day, this should be fun and something nice to do. Right. I now need scissors. Let me just pop those down. So you do not have to fussy cut these because there are dies. But it's because I generally can chat and cut, not always. Then I'll just carry on chatting and cutting. Please don't cut their antenna off. Makes me sad. I appreciate it's a bit fiddly to cut round, but it's much nicer if you can leave it. But these shapes are actually quite straightforward to cut. They're not really intricate. Some things you would really struggle with if you didn't have the dies, but these less so. But having the dies makes it easier. So let's just run around there. Nearly there. Halfway. My favorite one. I don't think a butterfly in those colors exists, but ultimately a creative process. But the colors actually blend really well together. I know we've talked about this before. I adore the Newing colors because they all work so beautifully together. But they're just really vibrant. Obviously the Pretty in Pink is soft, but the others, but all together they make a really vibrant palette. So that's actually really quite nice. Let's just wiggle around there. Just cut up here a bit more. There Go, one more to go. Nearly there. Haha. Ali says we have poetic license. Yes, we do. I think that is why I get away with having blue leaves. That's why I get away with having blue anything. We can just make the things from our imagination. Think how happy this butterfly would make you feel if you saw one. To be fair though, some of the dragonflies, you do have this kind of peacocky colours on dragonflies, but they are so fast. You often don't see them very well. Okay, right. So important to know, but a reminder, blends will come through your cardstock, so don't work on your really nice, pretty table when you're using blends. Okay, so let's start with this one first. So I'm going to put a layer on there. So standard layer, because it's a standard card front. For me, it's 5.5 by 3 3/4. And this patterned paper isn't directional, so you can got flowers and leaves on it, so you can put it up pretty much any which way you want. And then I am going to do, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And then what I do with the butterfly, you see its body there. I'm just going to cut up either side of the body and then bend its wings. So I end up with like a flat bit. And that is where I'm going to put that. Let's just make it more central. And then that is going to go here, like so. And then let's decorate the inside. So I'm just going to take a standard matte layer, but then I'm going to take some of this patterned paper and let me see, let's take it at about 1.5 inches, I think, and put that at the bottom. Now you can cut 2 pieces. If you don't want to use as much white cardstock, you can do that. But I'm kind of going for simplicity with this. So I'm going to put that there, but I'm going to stamp a sentiment on here as well. So let's just find that. This is wishing you a beautiful birthday. Just check it's stamping well. And yeah, I'm going to pop that just there. So quite often we don't stamp on patterned paper. And I appreciate that sometimes it's a bit scary because you think, well, what if my stamping goes wrong and it looks messy, or I smudge it, or any of those things, which, you know, you might do, then just use a punched out piece. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another little butterfly here, and we're going to use that to prop up the easel and some gems as well. So it's going to be multiple things. So again, I've put glue on that little bit there. I'm going to put my butterfly down. This is going to bend like so. So can you see this kind of joins here? But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put some gems here. The butterfly itself isn't likely to be sufficient. So by putting a little pearl there and then two little ones either side of it, you give it like a stopper. And, you know, more gems, more pearls is not a bad thing. And then so that will go there like so. So it will just sit that side. Okay. So then that will sit like that. So that's the landscape version. So let me just gather the portrait version, which is here. Okay. So I'm going to do exactly the same. Just this is a directional paper this time. So just be aware that you've got the flowers going the right way. I'm actually going to do an extra layer, an extra white layer on this one. So the patterned paper is 3.5 by 5 1/4. And let's go for 2.5 inches there. I'm going to use, move that out of the way. Let me just tidy up a bit because I've got stuff everywhere as usual. So I'm going to matte and layer this onto white. And then like so. And I do this often, you'll know that, but I do it because it makes the white pop. And on this card, I'm only going to use, I think I'm only going to use a white layer. I might just use a black layer. We're going to see. That's going to go on there. There's just standard layers. I go down 1/4 inch. If you're a centimetres person, you might go down 1/2 centimetre each layer. But that is going to stand like so. So for the inside, because it's going to stand quite a long way back. Yeah, because it's going to be like halfway back. You need a bigger piece. So this is 2.5 inches. So let's just pop that down. And then pop that in like so. Okay. So then we've got the lovely butterfly. I'm going to do my trick again. I'm just going to cut up each side of its body. So I've got my glue, but I've got this side. Are we going to go black? Which I think is probably a bit too dark. Or are we going to go white? And I think we absolutely are going to go white. So I'm going to put some dimensional pads on the back of that one. Just using all my scraps today. Okay, and then that butterfly is going to go on there. So again in the center. Famous last words. Stay. Okay, and then when it folds up, again, we need the gems. So this time I'm going to be using these. Now these are carried forward. They're called the Faceted Gems Trio. And I don't know which colours they actually are, but this, the blue, I think, is probably Pool Party. But I just think it works really well. But I'm going to use the crystal. So I'm just going to do one. Because you can see, look, I'm just going to do one because it's quite bumpy. I could put some, I could put some pearls either side. Let's just, let's just do that as well. I decided I was doing one thing and then I just look at it and think, I could do that. So got the butterfly to go there. And then the sentiment stamp, which I've lost, that's there. Just fold that wing up. There we go. Yep. I'm just moving it slightly so that the pearls aren't covered. Okay. So let me just clear all of this stuff out of the way. And then I can show you the cards and you can tell me which one you like the best. So this is a landscape version. It's all pretty in pink. So it's all tone on tone. And it's got quite a small stand. So it's actually not very tall. Whereas this one has got a much bigger triangle and much higher stand. It's exactly the same papers. It's just the variant of going portrait or landscape. They both will go flat, go in the post. They will probably be large letters because, you've got embellishments and dimensionals and stuff on there. But the reality of it is they will fold flat to protect them. Oh, thank you. Lots of love for the cards, which is awesome. And we definitely need a butterfly this color. Seriously. I love it. So there we go. That is everything from me today. I'll just leave, actually, if I pop them down like that, we'll just leave that there for now. Like I said, all of the measurements will be on my blog, and you can purchase all the products from me. So if you pop over to www.inspiringinking.com, you'll be able to click the links to my online store, sign up for my newsletter, and see all the measurements for the projects. But basically, I have taken a standard size card, and wherever you are in the world, whatever your standard size is, or if you're making something like a big card, like an A4 size, the principle is exactly the same. Make your card, score it. So you've got your score line there. Look, score it in half and put a same color layer on the top. And then it will work. So it's just one of those awesome cards that you can do for any occasion and with any size cardstock that you start out with. Awesome. Elizabeth saying, oh no, I now need another butterfly set. Yeah, exactly, Elizabeth. I said I do not need any more butterflies. And yeah. And then I got them and then I went, oh, I should have got them weeks ago. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this week. Have a great week. I know I'm going to be seeing some of you at my scrapbooking workshop on Saturday. I shall look forward to seeing you then, and I'll see everyone else next Tuesday. Take care till then. Goodbye.